Welcome back. The polls close in a little more than 2 hours for the primary elections here in Wisconsin, and some big decisions will be made tonight to determine who will be in the race in November. We are joined now with Roger Putnam of Putnam Roby Williamson Communications to talk about the latest political headlines. One that's getting a lot of attention: J.B. Van Hollen is not seeking re-election for Attorney General, so 3 Democratic candidates hoping to face District Attorney of Waukesha County Brad Schimmel in November. Let's talk about those 3.
Well, you know, Schimmel will be in good position after the primary. He's been able to save money, raise money, save money, and he's going to have the backing of the Republican establishment here in the state. As for the 3 Democratic candidates tonight, it's really a fascinating study. You've got one full-time or a long-time legislator in Milwaukee, and John Richards. You've got Susan Happ, a prosecutor from rural Wisconsin, Jefferson County, and you've got Ishmael Ozan, Dane County prosecutor. All bring different things to the table. I think Happ has the momentum going into tonight. He or she and Richards have been on television the last 2-3 weeks, respectively.
Yes, we've seen a lot of
a lot of that. So they've gotten the exposure. Ozan's underfunded, therefore not on TV, so he's at a disadvantage there. What's interesting, and he could be the shocker tonight, only because he shows well in Milwaukee, if he shows well in Milwaukee and home Dane County, and does reasonably well outstate, he could shock the field. But I think the conventional wisdom would be that Happ is doing well. Richards, perhaps the least best positioned if he were to come through the primary, because he's got no prosecutorial chops. Okay. So he doesn't match up very well against Schimmel, one could argue.
Ozan, is it harder for him to get support from the whole state versus, here in Madison? We support him, he has support here, but what about the whole state?
He's worked a really extensive ground game outstate. He's gotten good feedback. He's very strong in Milwaukee, but so is Richards. Richards, that's his home legislative district, but mostly east side Milwaukee. So that'll be very fascinating to watch. But I think Happ is trending well and has the backing of Emily's list. That doesn't hurt.
So whoever wins tonight, what are some of the challenges they face against going against Schimmel in November?
Again, I think Happ, being a woman candidate and with Mary Burke as a gubernatorial candidate, is well positioned. Emily's list is no joke when it comes to funding and strategy. One could argue Republicans have a challenge with the women vote. Okay,
let's talk about governor's race. Hot button issue right now. You have Mary Burke, Brett Hulsey. Who's going to take it tonight?
Brett's going to go away. When I was driving here, he was driving down one of the streets in Madison with a bullhorn. So bullhorn politics is sort of on the way out, I believe. So he'll be gone. It's going to be a tight race, like all the polls have shown. It's neck and neck, and Walker has some challenges. He's trending poorly, and Burke is trending positively. But it's going to be, in the end, very tight, and there's a lot of money out there still to be played.
Okay, so you definitely think it's going to be Mary Burke, Walker, and you think the momentum that Walker is seeing right now may not hold off until November 4th election?
Well, he's got all the money. He's spent a lot of money and hasn't really moved the needle a whole lot. So there's that. On the Burke side, her challenge is she's still largely unknown. She's gotten better in her identification numbers, but she's still largely unknown to the voters, and that gives Walker opportunity to define her, which he's spent a lot of money doing. So.
Okay, polls are open till 8 o'clock. Get out there and vote. We'll have a final check of your forecast after the break.